Hello, all the B-Day students. This week is a great week because you get to be in school 3 out of the 4 days. Of course, Monday was no school for Columbus Day. Now, Tuesday, you're in school. Wednesday, you're at home. Thursday and Friday, you're in school. So, a brief description of what we're doing this week. On Tuesday, when you're in school, we're going to work on the Bill of Rights. We'll learn about some of those really important rights you have according to the first 10 amendments of our Constitution, and we'll be the Supreme Court. We will learn about some important cases that the Supreme Court has heard over the years that help define what our rights are. So, we'll do a few stories. We'll have you make a decision, kind of like the Supreme Court would, and see whether you agree with the Supreme Court decisions in certain very famous cases. Now, throughout the week, we're also going to be working on our trade books. We're going to keep up with that. This week, you should be reading and completing chapter quizzes for the 5th through 10th quizzes. Depends what book you're in. If you're reading Sam, that is chapters 5 through 10. If you're reading Fever or Chains, it doesn't exactly match up that simply, but keep looking every day on the column here on our page that says class resources for everyone all semester. And when you scroll down below the Have a Super Clarky Day picture, you will see the different trade books. You open up the one you're doing, like Chains, for example, and you continue knocking out those quizzes that show me that you are reading and understanding. Please keep in mind there are read alouds here if you need that. And each time you take a quiz, the questions really aren't hard if you're reading the book. And I think a lot of you have been doing okay so far with this. You want to keep going. In language arts, you are going to start reading a book for language arts soon, so it would be really great for us to get our trade book about culture finished up before you get too deep into the next book, which I believe is going to be The Outsiders in Language Arts. We'll also work on one other big project this week. That is our test on the Confederation and Constitution time period that we're studying. We've learned about how after the Revolution, we have a new government under the Articles of Confederation that just doesn't really work. And so we've spent some time with some good, some bad, and some ugly about the Articles of Confederation. But clearly, we have to replace that with the new Constitution. We need a stronger government, we know that, but we're also still afraid of a government that's too powerful. So power is divided up between an executive branch, a legislative branch, and a judicial branch to keep any one part from being too strong and being able to overpower the others. Well, this week we're going to work on an essay that will be your big grade for these two sections of study, that you are going to show me that you've learned something. Now, let me show you in this video just briefly what you're going to do. Similar to what we did with the Committee of Correspondence letter, you are going to write in this case, 3-paragraph essay about a more perfect union. Why did we need a more perfect union? You know that line from the preamble. You know that America needs a more perfect union. We have a lot of reasons for that. And so what we're going to do this week is going to put together an essay that explains why we need a more perfect union. We'll work on this some in class, but you're going to use this template online to construct your answer. So the big picture is, why did America need a more perfect union in the 1780s? Well, we're going to start with a good paragraph explaining how we know the Articles of Confederation government is too weak. Then we're going to write a good paragraph explaining how the new Constitution is created to be stronger, yet with power divided between 3 branches. That federal government chart that we spent some time with would be very helpful to you there. And then in a good paragraph, you're going to explain how the Bill of Rights protects the rights of individual citizens. So we'll be working on that this week as well. So all that to say, we are learning about the Bill of Rights. We are then completing our evaluation, our summative assessment, our test, if you will, about why we need a more perfect union and what that new union is. And we're working on our trade books. So that's great that we have a 4-day week this week. And it'll be great that we can wrap up the new Constitution and move on into what America looks like in the 1800s using that new government.